Hello world, welcome in.
I'm LA.
I am KC.
And we are the F.R.E.E. Initiative.
As you have seen in our introduction, this is episode 1, covering what, LA?
Power!
Wow, and covering more so empowerment and personal empowerment. Your empowerment, my empowerment.
And describing what is power, who has power,
Oh yeah.
and how to further our own power.
Right. So
Exactly right.
we're going to start here with a little definition. What is power? As LA said, we found a couple definitions here. And it was kind of funny because the first definition at the top of the page, I mean, I thought it was hilarious. The first definition is the ability or the right to control people or things.
Sounds a lot like our government, if I do say so myself.
All right, and we coined this the negative definition because it's kind of external from individuals, right?
Well, absolutely. It would almost be like if we were trying to take this podcast and control you with it, which is not the goal and would be ridiculous. But there was a second definition. You had to scroll down a little bit to find it.
Yeah, it was like going through a maze, really.
And that definition was the ability to act or produce an effect, which is definitely the more effective definition, if you will.
Yeah, we called this a positive definition. We realized that this definition lies within all of us. It is very internal.
Right, natural, if you will, cause and effect. Very, very effective.
Wait a minute, so I can make causes?
And they'll have effects.
What?
Absolutely.
I thought I didn't have consequences to my actions.
Only someone would believe that.
And we did find a third definition that came through some thought while we were doing this, and it was found in the world of physics. And this definition of power is strictly defined as work. So if you look at the formula, power is work in the physical world. So we're going to roll with this positive definition, definitions 2 and 3 that we gave. So let's roll with this power. So types of power. What kind of power is out there?
Government has power for sure. They seem to be the most recognizable because you can see how they affect your life every day.
Definitely. They have this kind of restraint almost, because I feel like they follow this first negative definition of power. They give you tickets for stuff. You have to pay taxes.
Right, you must do this, you must do that.
I mean, I don't get it.
I just fail to realize and understand either.
And
but
wouldn't a negative, a government that has a negative definition of power be a bad government? Is a negative bad?
I would tend to agree with this.
Absolutely. I mean, you can look through history and what happened to Rome when they got too much power, they collapsed.
I believe it is absolute power corrupts absolutely.
I believe that is exactly it.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened to Rome, and we would tend to think if we don't watch out, it's going to happen to our own government.
It might happen here. I've kind of heard that the America is the second Roman Empire.
Banks, which also coincide with government, have power. They control our money source. They control and regulate what you can and can't do with the money. Almost another cage, if you will, that we live under.
Definitely, and I feel like they also use this first negative definition because they are controlling us through money. They really are.
Whether we realize it or not.
And if you look through history, history doesn't really touch it. History doesn't touch. They don't talk about bankers. It's kind of taboo almost.
You're not told what you don't need to know.
Good point right there. Well, we want to tell you everything we know, and we want to get it all across to you guys. Another thing, religion. Religion is a big one throughout history of the power, and if you read in between the lines in the Bible, I know there is a lot of positive undertones there. Absolutely.
These books are you have to look at them as almost life lessons. Maybe not so much reasons to live. You have enough reason to live on your own. You don't need someone to tell you why you need to get up every day.
Exactly. And overall, there was a lot of negativity. I mean, you look at the Crusades. They used religion,
holy wars,
to send people to their deaths. I mean, to conquer places. They created reasons for living, like you were saying, and you don't need that. I mean, a more positive religion is going to have you act and produce positive effects in your life.
Speaking of positive, teachers and parents, they both have the ability to morph our worlds and help us begin our journey of who we are and how we view the world. Not always good, but these people, we tend to learn our first thoughts from them, and not that they're always bad, but they definitely have the ability to help us learn what we first learn.
Yeah, they do share an important role because they mold us from youth. And a problem I've noticed is the curriculum established by the government. I mean,
Common Core is becoming a thing now where they only want us to learn certain things. Where luckily there are some good teachers out there that see through this, and they will take time to teach you. And if you're lucky enough to have parents,
so there are lots of types of power out there, but the most important power that has kind of been forgotten about because of these other major roles here is
your own power.
Yes, absolutely. Your own self-empowerment, your own ability to create and control, not everything in your life, but a lot of things, definitely.
Absolutely. We don't feel like this message is being portrayed in the mainstream media that we all consume every day, and that's why we are here. To remind you, you do have power. You can make cause and effect, but it requires you to habits are hard to break, but they are very breakable if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, and what happens when you break these habits? I know you told me when you break a reality, you need to create a new one.
Right, and if you're going to be watching this podcast, we really are going to ask you to start breaking the current reality you live in, as we've been doing for the last probably 2 years, and we've been slowly starting to build our own, and it's taken about 2 years to get to this point, so we're going to keep trekking on.
It kind of goes along with this quote I found from Voltaire. It says, "Work saves us from 3 great evils: boredom, vice, and need." And you're not working when you're Facebooking, scrolling through pictures of someone you don't even talk to, or
YouTubing, going through and watching all the YouTubers and while their videos may be funny, they're really not serving any purpose for you.
Watching
or your
an
life.
hour-long Kobe Bryant highlight video.
It's almost like the government has made sure we have a babysitter to make sure we are not doing anything positive to help ourselves. Because and people may not like that, but that's really is what's happening. We have
I spilled something. I need my bib. You want to find this type of leisure type of work where you're expanding your mind and you're growing. I know Einstein says when you stop learning, you start dying. So
yeah, there's no way of getting around that. Once you become useless, you will become useless.
Yeah, you will be. You'll literally be a bump on a log. I know. 85, 90, 95% of us have to work, and we have to sustain the life we live because we've grown up in this place and in this world, and it's going to take work to change that. But in the meantime, while we're working to change everything in our lives, we have to spend our free time in a leisure work state. We have to be learning, we have to be improving constantly.
Without it, we once again come back to vice and boredom, and you hear people say all the time, "I'm so bored, there's nothing to do." Well, we're here to tell you that is not true. That is a lie that's been promoted to you, and there is plenty to be done. You can look around and hear people complain all the time, and if we want anything to change, we cannot be the generation of that's just the way things are. We have to become people of action, and action leads to change.
So we're really trying to light this flame, this flame of enlightenment, and burn down a lot of the vices and restraints around us, because
we're going to start being the trailblazers. We're going to be the generation of change. We're not going to be the generation of that's just the way things are.
Oh no. No.
That's not how we don't see it. You have power, whether you realize it or not. We really want to make that a point to you guys. Our first act of power, because we're trying to make 2014 a year of action, making this podcast, making our page, just trying to do something different to show people our actions are speaking louder than our words.
Yeah, we are embracing.
To go on with our first idea of power, media and culture seems to have such a great power over not only our generation, but the country as a whole, at least in the United States. TV is seriously becoming a waste of time.
But it follows that first definition.
Yes, it's a power over you. It has the power to make you sit in a chair and become inactive and not have any effect on your world around you or your community. So another type of power is money, our own economic power.
Yes,
because,
very much so.
Yeah.
And what can I do with my economic power?
You could go out this weekend and buy 2 cases of beer and drink yourself to oblivion.
All right, dude. Sweet.
And he's out. Or there's many different things you can do with your money. We tend to once again find ourselves with leisure, movies, beer pong. Not that these things are bad, but in moderation, everything is okay.
Yeah, I mean, once a week, I feel like it's still too much. Maybe once a month, getting some time to relax and have your friends
Let
over.
your hair down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is totally okay. Other ways we give people power with our money is by giving our money to corporations. When you buy from Walmart, when you buy from Myers, when you buy from whatever your establishment is, you're giving them economic power, whether you realize it or not.
And where's that power going? It's been shipped overseas. I mean, someone else is making the product, and it's not local.
It's not serving your community, and it's definitely not serving your country.
That's what we found is definitely important, is helping our country, helping our local community through farmers markets.
Right, finding out who makes your food.
Local farmers.
Where we live, there's a store called Celebrate Local where they only sell local items. There's actually entire cities, Oregon, yes?
Yeah, definitely. I've been to a city in Oregon where the whole town was really cool, but local butcher, local farmers, making bread, making meat, making butter, making milk. It was impressive.
Right, and I really just don't know anyone who wouldn't want to help out their own community where they live to make where they live better, and we can all help each other.
I'm not telling you guys to go out there and start milking your own cow, but help your local mechanic out. Don't go to AutoZone or
National Tire Buyers.
Yeah, Napa or whatever. I mean, help your local mechanic, help your local plumber, help local Bob, whoever he is.
May cost a little more, may take a little bit more time to find, but it would be helping someone that you might even know. Who knows? Maybe you'll get a new friend.
Absolutely. And another way is saving your economic power when you don't need to waste it.
Right, not going out to the store and going on a spending spree because you can. Save it if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then who are you investing in? You could even not just corporations, but if you don't agree with what your political party is saying, don't give them your money. Go find someone that's local and maybe speaking more for you. It'll give him or her more power.
Another way to use our power, kind of think about this religiously or spiritually. I heard a quote that said, religion is believing in someone else's experiences. Spirituality is believing in your own experiences. So use your own power to create your own experiences and grow yourself.
Another type of power, not just economic or media, your power to educate yourself.
Yes.
This really is not put in the media at all. It is definitely possible for you to go out to your local bookstore, or if you don't have money, go out to a library, buy a book, read something. If you feel like you want to know something, you can read about it. You can learn for yourself. Also, another free way.
The internet,
great way to go and learn. YouTube University, you can learn a lot of things from people on YouTube. You can also go to a place like freedomworks.com. They're giving out right now, by Judge Napolitano, free lessons on the Constitution. What is your constitutional rights? What do they mean? How can you explain it? All free.
I know another website, Coursera, Coursera.com. No, Coursera.org, I believe, O-R-G. And a little more diverse. They have a lot of financial things and health and science. But, it's all free, and it's a weekly course, probably 8-9 weeks long, and there's a lot of stuff to be learned out there. And this can be taken. One thing I've noticed through this is the cumulative effect, the collective effect.
Yes. Our group of friends, slowly but surely, has also moved with us. We all move at our own pace, so we're not...
It's been incredible. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's been incredible to watch a lot of our friends move on the same path.
Which, it's awesome, man.
It really is.
It really
is. Cool. And that's one reason we wanted to do this. We want to see and watch others grow as well. So the cultural and the collective effect from this power, I empowered myself in health, and I know my buddy here in LA it's kind of grown on him. He's taken this collective power, he's kind of ran with it.
As you can see, I'm a bigger guy, but I am working on this since I've moved out from this year. I've already lost 10 pounds. Also, for my own personal life, I used to have a habit of leisure time, 20 minutes before I go to work, watching ESPN, which I like, and trust me, big sports fan. But I replaced this with meditation, and by meditating, I take that 20 minutes and release all the bad thoughts and bad energy from myself in the morning and start my day out in a more positive light, so I'm not the guy sitting behind the wheel like, oh, I hate my life. No, I'm more like, namaste.
It's calm. It's calm, and as you light this internal beacon, you'll be able to see it light other beacons. You'll help friends out, and you'll really see it spread around, kind of like in Lord of the Rings when they lit the beacon, to give warning to the next nation or whatever.
Right.
Travel, boom, 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 boom.
Domino effect.
life dominoes.
Knocking over life dominoes.
Knocking over
right
life
here
dominoes.
on the Free Initiative.
It's not
right
easy.
here.
It's not. I know we've said that a couple times, and we've kind of found a quote to go along with that.
Yes.
And this is in our food for thought section.
It's what we'll leave you guys with at the end of each podcast, something to digest while you're waiting for our next masterpiece.
Like we're Beethoven over here, right? So this came out of the Tube in 2005, I think. It comes from the movie Coach Carter. This is a scene where the young guy is kind of speaking now. He's coming back to the team, and he had his own self-realization in the movie. And here's a quote from it. It says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others."
Very deep, a lot to think about. It's true, though. You sitting there being scared of what other people are going to think of you doesn't serve you, nor does it serve them, because you're harming each other. You sitting there and, yeah, I'm going to make that change. Yeah, I'm going to buy local. Yeah, I'm going to... whatever it is you need to do for yourself, because we're all at different spaces, and we're all going to get there at a different time, because it's a marathon, it's not a race. But like we said earlier, we have to start being people of action. Our generation has to be the one to put our foot down and put a line in the sand and say, we're not going to do it this way anymore, because we see this way doesn't work. And we don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. We don't care what side you're viewing it from. We're all humans. We all can collectively help each other around the world. And that's where we're going to start.
All right, so let's knock over domino number one. Use your power and move forward. Get the ball rolling. And if you've already started, if you've already begun, if you've already found your own way and kind of enlightened yourself, keep it rolling. I mean, that's the number one thing is to not stop.
And, don't let other people discourage you. Not everyone's going to agree with our podcast. You're not going to discourage us. We're not those people. But I'm LA.
Oh God. One guy didn't like it. I'm done. I quit.
Yeah,
KC.
This is the Free Initiative.
This is the Free Initiative, guys. And remember, empowerment, self-empowerment. Amen.